Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. It's a beautiful day here at Amy Sews and Amy Bachman Sew and Quilt. Woo, we're going to do these all week long. We're excited. We have a lot going on. Let's see what else. Today we're doing a scan and cut project. It's a little spring project. It's kind of cute. It's kind of silly, but at the same time, it's not about the project. It's about the process, right? So today we're going to be making little bunny bags out of lunch sacks. And but the key is to show you about the scanning and building a face, the difference between drawing and cutting. So there's going to be some things going on. Good morning, Sandy, Camille, Mrs. P, Elaine. Hey, girlfriend. Yeah, so hi, Dorothy. Bay City, Michigan. I just remember the Bay City Rollers. That's how old I am. Juju. Hey, girlfriend. Hi, Nancy. All right. So we're going to be doing Canvas Workspace today. We're going to be doing our scan and cut. We're going to use our scan map. We're going to get some things going on. Good morning, Julie, Marianne, Mary. Oh, I got Mary Lynn. You guys are popping on so fast. I can't I can't read it all. Hello, Georgia. I hope your weather's nice. It is cold here and the darkness is starting to kill me. Right about mid-January, I have to go somewhere where there's actually sun. It doesn't have to be super warm. It just has to be bright. I just get the blues from the dark. Laurel. All right. So let's see. It's only one after, but that's okay. We can get everybody caught up. For those of you who don't know, I'm Amy from Amy Sews. Good morning, Terry and Leslie. I'm Amy Bachman Sew and Quilt, beautiful Harmony, Pennsylvania. And today we're going to be playing with our scan and cut. There's something going on every day this week leading up to our crystal workshop on Sunday. So the workshop's only $10. If you want a little test kit, they're only $15. So Julie asked, am I using the web canvas or the app? I am using the online, the web canvas, because my MacBook, even though they make it for the Mac, the downloaded version, for some reason it likes the online, especially when I'm connected to all the electronics here. All right, so this is what we're doing. I was hoping I had white lunch sacks today. And like I said, it is not about the project, it's about the process, right? So we've got little bunny bags. They're cute for treats. Before we know it, Easter is early this year. It's March 31st, I believe. And the first day of spring is March 20th. And how do I know that? It's my birthday. So Facebook has my birthday is January 1st, but it's not. So the first day of spring, it's January. I've had it. I'm thinking spring. So let's see how I went about cutting these lunch bags. So I'm going to pop over to the scan and cut, and I have my scan mat on. Now the scan mat is a non-stick, right? It just has this little Lexan acetate cover, and I want to scan this in. And the reason I'm scanning this in, this is no different than when you want to do a shape around a collar. You want to place your design on a shape or create a shape in your Canvas workspace for your scan and cut. So I'm going to go ahead and choose scan. And I'm going to scan it to my Canvas workspace. Okay. My scan and cut and my computer are connected. And I'm just going to hit start. It asks for the scanner lever. On the side, left-hand side, you have a lever 1 or 2. We're scanning with the 2 today. It'll tell you that, and we're going to hit start. So we're scanning the paper bag. Now the paper bag has multiple layers, right? There's 2 layers with a fold in between. For those of you who do Christmas luminaries, it's a great way to do that. And last year I did the big paper bag snowflakes on paper bags. So that is transferring the information to my Canvas workspace. And when you scan something in to your Canvas workspace, it gets a little tricky because you got to know where to find it. So normally you would think, well, I'm just going to load it like a regular design with the SVG, but I'm going to go to my image trace. I'm going to select normal tracing. This enhanced tracing, you have to buy an upgrade card for enhanced tracing. Select scanned image from my scan and cut. It's going to come in the exact size that the actual bag is, right? And there it is. Now you're seeing this black funkiness around here, right? That is because my scan mat was elevated and the bag lifted it, the acetate up off the surface of the mat. It detected and thought I was doing something. So I'm just going to get rid of that. So here's my bag. So the first thing we have to do is do our bunny ear cuts. So I'm going to get my little path tool here, which is the little nodes. I'm going to come in. Now I'm guessing here, people, this is a craft project. So please, those of you with your micrometers and your rulers, you can step down for a minute because we are just playing here. Jane asked, I'm going to do that on the first and second generation scan and cut. The CM series was Wi-Fi, and definitely the DX series is not all scan and cuts. This is the 325. Mine's the 225. The 2 series and the 3 series of the DXs will work. All right, so I got my little nodes up here, my little path tool. I'm going to come in about a 1/2 inch. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. You can see the little grids on my mat. I'm just going to guesstimate coming in about a 1/2 inch, kind of going to the center, just to the left of the center of my bag, and give myself, I don't know, another 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Back up the top. It's a double click, and there's my cut file. All right, so I'm going to go up to my little hamburger tabs here, and I'm going to choose cut only. And the reason being, when I put my face on here, I don't want to cut or I don't want to do anything. Oh, Susie is on the ball because all this week, when in the comments, you can type the word share. We're going to give away a 40-pack of fat quarters at the end, but sprinkling this out to the universe who crafts and sews, I truly appreciate that. All right, so now we have to design the face of our bunny. All these basic shapes here are here for just that. Like that looks like the perfect nose, except it is ginormous. So I'm going to make it smaller. And you have to test your face, your size just a little bit on your face. And you guys are, I will say, you guys are so much more talented than I could ever be when it comes to, like, you can fill these in with your markers. You can cut out felt. You can make them as fancy as you want. But today's lesson is really about transferring and scanning and cutting something kind of unusual. So let's find some eyeballs. Let's see. This looks like kind of like an eyeball. Everything is built from these shapes, right? So you just have to think shapes for a minute. And now I'm going to need the inside of the eyeball. Get a little circle, a little tiny circle here, and put it inside. Now, one of the things I want you to do, please work in zoom mode. Don't kill your eyeballs. My eyes are old and tired, and they don't want bothered with this. So the more I zoom in, the better off I'm going to be. Now, I'm just going to take these two, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to group them. And then I'm going to copy and paste them. And come up to my edit tab and mirror image. Now, this may not look like a bunny to you, and I get that. I never said I was an artist by any stretch of the imagination. Now we're going to do his little mouth. So you can grab the pen tool, and the pen tool is exactly that. It is you using your mouse like a marker, right? You also have your node tool that you can actually maybe control it just a little bit more. The tighter your dots are together, the more rounded your circle is going to look. I apologize for the beeping. I think you can hear that. That's getting a freight delivery today. All right, so there is our face. I'm going to make sure it looks like, it doesn't really look like a bunny face, but you guys draw better than I do. You're going to be just fine. And I put it together and I group it. Just grabbing my eyeball. We got to hold up here for a second. Let me zoom out. Yes, my MacBook does not like being connected to here. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to group it. You're going to come up to your little hamburger tab and you're going to choose drawing line only. Okay. Now, for some reason, it's just my computer freezing up while it's connected to the HDMI cable. So just excuse that. All right. So how do I get into my CM Scan and Cut? I may need a little more information than that, Jane. So once you have this here, right, and you're going to have to do a little test bag. You may have to drop this down a little bit. You may have to bring your little V. I want to make sure it starts at the top. All right, what are the stars? You guys, I need a little more, help with the questions. I get no one monitoring today. It was too early for everybody. So anyhow, so make sure this guy starts at the top of your bag and make sure your face is here. Now we're going to download it and I'm going to send this over to my Scan and Cut. Oh, there it finally, I'm going to redo that. It finally kind of woke up a little bit. I'm going to group it. I'm going to make that draw only. And it says fill in the outline with the drawing function. Sure, let's leave that in there, see if it fills in. Now I'm going to download it. I'm going to send it to my Scan and Cut. All right, let's head over here and draw it up again. Okay, so we're going to go home. We're going to go retrieve data because that's what we're doing. We're taking it from the cloud because that's what we're doing. Okay, so there's my face. It filled in his face. So you can see I probably lost his middle eyeball, but we'll see. There's my cut V. There's my draw. I'm going to eject my scanning mat because I don't need it. Now, don't judge how nasty my mats are. They are absolutely nasty. They're nasty all the time. They are so used, it's not even funny. So what I want to do is, if you're going to be making a lot of these, for a nursing home, it's great to put little goodies and things in them, your Sunday school, kids school, whatever you want to do. I pick the same spot every time. So I only have to scan my bags once. Now, sorry. Nope, that was right. I'm seeing two different things. So this lifts up, right? And we have extra layers here. So I want you to take some blue painter's tape, which I could not survive without with my Scan and Cut, because when this goes under the roller, you don't want this part curling up. And I put a piece at the bottom just because. I have my black blade in because it is, even though it's paper, it's still my black blade. So I'm going to hit scan so I can see where my paper bag is. And when you put the paper bag in the same spot every time, then you're not going to have to scan it every time. But today I want you guys to see how you can transfer an image in to decide where to put something on that image, how to use your drawing pen, how to retrieve the data. Again, the project, it's not about the project, it's about the process. So now you can see my bag, right? So I know this probably needs to come in. And again, when you go to your edit tab, don't be afraid of your zoom button to make sure that's right where it needs to cut. And just center it a little bit. and I will scroll down and check on my bunny face, which is going to be horrific. It's going to be a Halloween bunny, I think. And I'm going to say, okay. And I'm going to say, okay. And I'm going to say, okay. And I'm going to select cut. And it should do, if I did it right, just cut the V. See how the face disappeared? I'm going to hit start. And it's okay if it cuts through the tape. You don't want your blade to grab that end because you're going to be in trouble if it grabs that raw edge of that paper bag. Okay, cut done, right? It's going to say finish cutting, say okay. And now I'm going to hit draw. Now I want to do the face, taking out my blade. And I'm going to show you how to use the pen holder if you do not have a universal pen holder. So this is just a regular Sharpie marker. This is a lift and lock system. You're going to lift it and twist it. It comes with this little jig that your pen holder goes into. Drop your marker. Drop your marker. Okay. Till the tip just hits the bottom. You're going to lift and lock. So your pen is in there. Now, if your pen's too skinny, you can put a couple wraps of blue tape around it just to keep it from spinning. I'm going to drop it in my blade holder. The nice thing, the ScanNCut knows what's going on, right? With that. So you always, in theory, you should draw first and cut last. So to be honest with you guys, I probably should have drawn first because what happens is this piece is already loose. So now we have a little more room for air here because it shifts. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start. And because I chose to fill those lines, bunny is going to look really bad. And I don't think I got my marker in all the way. I think it moved. So let's see what we get. And it draws in the order that you put it on the screen. So because I did this little piece kind of second, is it coloring? Can't see. Nope. It is now. My pen wasn't down all the way. It must have shifted when I put it in. So you're going to get half a bunny. All right, so you can see where the pen didn't work and where the pen did work. I can go back and I can choose draw again. And I'm just going to give the top of my pen a tap just to make sure it made contact. But I like to address envelopes with my pens. It makes when you send a card to somebody so much more fancy. All right, so we're going to have a very ugly bunny face, but it's okay. Not everything in nature is perfect. All right, so while we're finishing up, he's winking. I love that. Early for your brain. You have a CM, Jane has a CM 550. How do I get the cut file in? Yes, you're going to have to use a USB. So in Canvas Workspace, you're just going to download it to a USB, plug it into your ScanNCut, and you'll be ready to go. So one of the things we do here at Amy Sews is we have our subscription boxes, right? So we use our ScanNCut. We have one just for the ScanNCut, and we have an applique tea towel a month, which really wasn't designed for the ScanNCut because it's for traditional people who trace and cut. So to get that file, but we have decided starting in February that you're going to be an embroidery file. So even if you embroider, you now have the cut files and the embroidery files to make the ScanNCuts. This is December, so this was just traditional. This is November's. So the tea towels are all in the 100% cotton Dunroven towels. So now, even if you don't embroider, I'm not changing the price. So it's still $24.95 a month. You get embroidery files, traditional scan and cut files, trace files. You get everything. So that is, we've never opened, I say open the cart is kind of a technical term, but we've never opened the subscriptions up all three at one time. So we're excited about that, right? So the tea towel of the month is now, and then the scan and cut. This is what we did in December. We did quilting with our scan and cut. We cut out the fabric blocks. We marked our quilting lines. We stitched it together. We talked about making, cutting fabric, of course, but, and then this was a workshop that we did with the 24-inch mat. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? And then the serger box is this month, and we're making a hoodie. So you're going to get 2 yards of sweatshirt fleece, a yard of dyed to match ribbing, which you can't find anywhere, and a hoodie pattern. So we're excited about that. All right, let's go back and see what happened to our bunny. All right, I'm just going to gently lift up the tape. And you know what? Don't use your stickiest mat here because in the end, it's paper. So I didn't have my cut edge up all the way because I was rushing. And I can't see what you can see because, well, the monitor is 6 feet away from me. So if that cut file was right on the end, so this is what we have, a very scary bunny. A very scary bunny, right? So that was not cool. This is what he looks like. Yeah, Jane says she's a fabric person. So every other month in the scan and cut, we cut fabric, right? So next month, I'm not sure what we're doing next month. We have a couple projects in the way. So you open them up and you put stuff in it, right? And you just close it with some ribbon and glue a little cotton ball on the back. And you have the these little cute little bunny bags. I think they'd be cuter with the white lunch bags, but I did not have any of those. So yeah, the word share is to end of the week. We're giving away the 40 fat quarter pack. And if you sprinkle this out to the universe, I truly appreciate it because the more we grow, the more we can do. Maybe we can, the more we can grow, the more we can do, the more we can all do together. All right. So anybody have any questions? We talked about using the pen holder, and in Canvas Workspace, all you have to do is make sure you choose draw, and it won't cut it ever. It'll stop. It'll wait for you to do something else. And then you can choose this. This is definitely a cut line, or you could do them both. But being able to scan in your object. And this is one of the things I wanted to share with you. Like when I did this hat, knocking stuff over, sorry. When I went to embroider this hat, I needed to know the arc of my hat. And because I'm not a math wizard, and when you start talking radius dimension, I just kind of glaze over. I took this on a piece of cardstock and I traced the shape of my brim and how deep where the hat part was. I scanned that paper into my scan and cut. I sent it over to Canvas Workspace. Then I can save it as an FCM file, open it in my embroidery software. I use Dime embroidery software. And I could exactly lay my embroidery where I wanted it, delete the cut file, and all was good. So scanning in your paper bag, scanning in something that you want just the dimension of is something I really like to do. This never made it this Christmas. I got so far behind. So I was at the dollar store, $1.25 store, and they had these wooden snowflakes. And I laid them on cardstock and I traced them, including the little hanger dot, which I wasn't going to cut out, but I needed an orientation because, believe it or not, Although it looks perfect, it's not as perfectly symmetrical as what I want it to be. So once I had this, I scanned it in and I made it a cut file. And then I cut it out in paper just to see if it was going to fit, right? Make sure. I always look in the craft stores, in the scrapbooking places where they have the bins of the weird paper nobody wants, and I use that for my testing, whether it's my embroidery applique pieces or whether it is pieces I'm trying to cut. I feel better cutting paper and not my fabric first. So I cut the cork out of that, same shape. I cut this Aurora pressure sensitive vinyl out of there. And then these were trivets on my dinner table. Or you could use them as chargers under your dessert plate. You know, put this down, then put the dessert plate here, because this would just wipe right off. So anything, any shape that you can scan in your background, you can create that into anything. And if you want to, once you create something, make sure you come over here and you give it a project title. A lot of people don't even know this is here. I'm just going to put bunny bag. And now I'm going to come over here to this double black arrow. That saves it to my projects. So now when I go to my projects, I can see everything I've done. Okay, and this is going to be part of the crystal workshop. I'm working on an embroidery design with the crystal plots on there. So if you are interested in the crystal workshop, it's only $10. You go to Amy Sews and sign up. The extra kit's only $15. And if you don't have the Brother official crystal kit, I was able to secure not a boatload of them. I got 40 of them. Brother is not shipping them or selling them. So you see them on eBay, sometimes $100, $150 because people can't get them. The activation code is what you want. They're $89. We ship them to you. And it makes a world of difference working with crystals, right? I'm just going to say that. It's not your thing. Okay, so we got a question. Could the bunny be designed to use different colored? Can the bunny be designed to use different colored pens, i.e. the eyes green and draw black? Well, girlfriend, let's just find out. All right, so let's get rid of that. Hold on. So let's ungroup this. Group it. So let's pick an eyeball. Ungroup that. I'm going to separate them just so they're easier for you to. All right, let's pick an eyeball. This may be easier on the downloaded version. Let's go to our little hamburger up here. We're going to do color type. We're going to do green. And I'm going to do the outline in the same green. And there he is. So I'll be honest with you. I have not done that. I don't know that our scan and cut knows to stop like our embroidery machine does. So if anybody knows that answer, I will have to do that. So okay, so that's, as I say, I'm just looking for questions. Sorry. Yes, Juliana, as long as you're in my StreamYard feed, it works on YouTube as well. I wouldn't leave my YouTubers out. Yeah, thank you, Terry. It's always about the process and not the project. I am full of dumb projects, right? And that mean absolutely nothing, but I try to get you from part A to part B to part C where the pieces come together. So you may not make a bunny bag, but you may want to make something else. And you're going, oh, I know how to scan in the background and open it in Canvas and then do my designing and then get rid of the background, right? So that's really what it was all about today. The pen holders are underrated because addressing envelopes, especially if you're doing a wedding or something like that, they just look amazing. I also have the calligraphy kit installed, and that's a whole different animal, the calligraphy set. But if you enjoy that kind of work, it's beautiful. Okay, so Susie thinks it'll stop and then you change pens. I think you're right because it does. I'm pretty sure I'm 90%. You're probably right. I'll just stop there. I'll just stop there. So anyhow, can you do crystals without the crystal kit? Absolutely. You're going to get a chart on the sizes. So instead of you doing an automated thing, like if I wanted to take this and go up to my crystals and I wanted to make it an outline, I can do it automatically. You would just have every little dot and place it yourself. You're just making little circles and doing circle, circle, circle. The object, of course, is that it's perfectly. Oh, I didn't even looking at me and not you. So let me just undo that. So the object is that when you select it and you go up to your crystal tab and grab an outline, it will automatically place them instead of you doing every tiny little circle. But I'm going to give you the sizes of the circles so you can do it. And then I'm also going to show you how to scan in your embroidery design and then plot your crystal template. So if you do not have super duper embroidery software, you don't have to worry about it. Right now, the new software, like I have the Dime PEP and the new Dime Cut and Sew, I'm not sure what their exact name is, where I can go ahead and plot my embroidery. But a lot of people don't have embroidery software, so we're gonna learn to bypass that. Woo! Let's see. How do you separate objects when you scan something into the scan and cut? So let me switch over here. Just get a really crazy bunny. So if you're still out there, so if you scan something in, let's say this is a pattern from, a quilt designer or something, and how they give you the sheet where it's all plotted, overlay, some are dots, some are overlaid, whatever. When you scan this in, unfortunately, every line is a cut line. So when I scan this in the scan and cut, what's going to happen, I go to move this, the tip of the triangle stays in here and the other triangle goes out because it's a cut line. And it's almost impossible to separate. I don't have an exact sample, but when they are overlapped like that and you scan them in, the only way you can avoid this piece being missing is if you go up and use your tool and you trace this piece yourself. You go in and trace all those odd shapes that are overlapped. Right. So now I can, have that whole shape, even though that was very poorly done. Those of you who work on your phone, all I can say is God bless you. I got to use my laptop. I got to use at least my iPad so I can see better. Oh, Dorothy, your crystal kit's being delivered today. Yay. Yes, I'm also throwing in a weeding cup, a silicone weeding cup in the Brother crystal kits. So you can keep all those little nasty dots everywhere. All right, I think we've answered all of our questions. So there is, right now we're doing 10% off if you want to join any of the memberships, the Scan and Cut, the Serger, or the Tea Towels. And I do a video out there on cutting fabric. Some of you have signed up for it right now. I don't have the pop-up up, so it'll be back up in another week or so. Once we close all the boxes, we can only let so many, we can only let so many people in the subscriptions at one time because I source like 3 months out. We start cutting kits 3 months out. There's so many moving parts. I would like to leave it open all the time, but I just have to make sure I have enough supplies. And so that's kind of why it's only open once in a while. So yes, I'd like to say, oh yeah, let's have 5,000 members. And then I'd be crying, sobbing on the floor because I can only get 3,999 of something. So I got to do it in steps. Barb says the Crystal Workshop, is it sold out? Any chance of getting one? It is not sold out, and there should be kits. If the kits are sold out on the website, I have them here. I'll go back and tell Ed to add more to the inventory. So we're selling kits faster than I thought we were going to. So anyhow, oh my gosh, everybody, what a way to start our day with our beautiful Scan and Cut, Rise and Shine. before you know it, the sun will be up when we get up, which is my hard time with winter. So I'm hopping on that Scan and Cut cruise the end of the month, our master cruise, which we're so excited about. And if you really want to learn more about cutting vinyls and fabrics, I'm not sure it's all in store. July is with Reen from Embroidery Garden and Stephanie from Caesar America. So that cruise, it's filling quickly. So go to soandsellcruises.com, get the information because you don't want to miss out on Alaska or spending time with Reen and Stephanie. I'll be there just as a helper. So anyway, okay, don't forget to spread this out to the universe for me. I would truly appreciate it. And the word is share. If you want to win the prize at the end of the week, it's a 40-pack of Fat Quarters. All right, everybody, have a terrific day because the more you know, the more you sew.